Welcome back to another episode of everyone's favorite place to be on a Wednesday evening at pitch practice.
The
The
show.
show. What's up, Brandon? What's up, everybody out there watching? Give us a hashtag where you're watching from. Let us know down in the comments where you're watching from. We've gotten a real exciting episode today. We're going to talk about some really current events, some really current things that are happening right now in this online world of marketing in today's show. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing great. As good as I can be, considering it is going to be freezing tonight. 31
Really?
degrees. Yeah, we got a freeze warning going on tonight. And, Mother Nature needs to figure it out. Is it winter? Is it spring? Are we going into summer? We got freeze warnings. Makes no sense.
I
No sense. That's
I
Ohio
feel
weather for you.
oh my gosh, I feel sorry for you. That's freezing temperatures, 31 degrees. I can't
Mhm.
believe it. Aren't we going into the spring and summer months? How are you
I mean, we're in spring by at least a month now.
uh what do you
Yeah.
what do you do what do you do to prepare for that kind of weather?
I don't know. Wear a coat. I mean, I'm not a farmer. I don't have to worry about any crops or the ground or anything like that. I know stuff's starting to come up. So they should be a little bit worried, but um, I just wear a coat. I mean, right now it's 47 degrees. High today was 51. Like I said, we're in in spring. Go
uh
figure.
I'll, see, I guess us down here in the warmer section of the country, if it's going to get that cold, there's some prepping that needs to be done the night before. And I'll tell you, Brandon, whenever there's going to be a cold or freeze like that here in Texas, you go to the stores the night before, there's going to be a rush. People always think it's like snowmageddon. They're going to stock up on water, they're going to stock up on like bread, and then they're going to go to the gas station and try to fill up their tanks as if it's the end of like a catastrophe is about to happen. But
Yeah.
I think that's what happens when you're living down here in a climate that's not really used to getting those types of snowstorms and things. We don't know how to act. In essence, we don't know how to act for it. Uh,
I mean, you get kind of used to it. Been up here 4 years, back from Florida, and we had maybe a week, 2 weeks of chilly weather down there. Some freezes, they do. Does freeze down in Florida, but um, yeah, you just wear a coat and do what you got to do. But it's just annoying the fact that we already had what 6 months of coldness already, and it just hasn't stopped. So I was looking forward to warmer temperatures. And then last week it was like 70 degrees. Like for the eclipse, it was 70 degrees beginning of the month. Now it's freezing. So I don't know. Global warming, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Climate change. Yeah, the climate's changing, but
yeah.
whatever. But hey, yeah, I got something cool in the mail the other day. Did you see
Oh yeah,
the deal?
yeah.
I got something
And
pretty
you know
cool.
what I wanted to do? No, I know. Sorry to interrupt you. I want I wanted to see if you could play your unboxing video, if you could like bring it up on split screen so we could see it. I know that was a well produced
It
little
was
uh what'd you say?
it was terrible.
It was produced. I could tell.
Did I do something? Hold on. I got to sign in Descript here. I don't know if I did it in Descript or not.
Yeah. Can you share it with everyone? Can you share it?
I think so. Hold
Yeah. Yes. So if you're just tuning in, give us a hashtag where you're watching from down in the comments. We want to say that welcome to this episode of Pitch Practice, the show where we are going to talk about current events, And most specifically, we're going to talk about distribution channels. Distribution channels. If you don't know what a distribution channel is, um, just think of any way that you can get your message out to your potential customers, your potential clients, whether they might be, we just finished Sell Like Crazy. And Sabri Subi always he talked about that larger market, that 97% of people that aren't quite ready to buy right now. And then as you go down into the funnel, you want to bring that larger market in. And that's how you reach that larger market. You reach it through a distribution channel. A distribution channel could be written, like the newspapers. Uh, it could be audio, like the radios. That's a channel to distribution to get your message out there. Could be door to door, and but what we want to focus on today is your online social media distribution channels. Those distribution channels that Russell Brunson had so uh, pinpoint precision broke down for us in his New York Times best-selling book, Traffic Secrets. And if you haven't heard of that book, we've got a surprise for you, because we're going to put a link down in the description so you can actually grab a free copy of that book. Pay the small shipping and handling charge, and you're going to get a copy of that book shipped straight to your house. It is What I like about the book is that it is timeless. It teaches those timeless concepts. Um, well, I want to ask a question though, right?
Was that?
So this book, because we're going to be talking about one of your favorite apps today, and that's TikTok.
Yes,
TikTok.
my
Tick.
favorite. So well, tell the one that I've really used. I mean, I know I've been on Facebook since, I wouldn't say day one, maybe month four when it actually came out, and he opened it up outside of the Harvard ecosystem when you only needed a .edu to join. And
Uh,
I really wish it never left the .edu, but I get it. College kids are broke, and you can't continue to, you know, have Facebook just with broke college kids, right? There's no money there. Totally get it. But I never really got into the reels, man, or when they started copying, Snapchat with the stories and all that kind of stuff. I never got into those parts of the app. But when TikTok came along, I was like, you know what? It's a new thing. It's not organic traffic, off the rip because it's new. I mean, I didn't jump on in 2020 when COVID hit. Maybe it was a year or so later, and organic was still good. I mean, that's just kind of what I got used to and stuck with. But things are changing. If you're paying attention to anything that is going on now, a big bill was passed with a lot of pork in it, and part of that pork was the um, what's the word I'm looking for? The
well,
fate of TikTok, so to speak.
right,
And
right.
the bill was signed, and now they have 9 months with a potential 90-day extension
Well,
to
okay. Uh-huh, uh-huh.
um, to
Well, what
sell.
I want, what I want to do is I want to let's bring up a news article. Let's bring up a news article to give an explanation of what has occurred recently. I did actually do a little bit of a research, and let's bring this up here so we can actually just read a little bit from, stripped from the headlines, stripped from the headlines. And let me bring this up here real quick. And let's see here. You got that. You see that one there? Okay, let's go here and let's just read uh, a little bit of information that's going to give us details about what actually happened. So it looks like it is a potential ban. So, and I know that a lot of people out there have heard the news and they're saying, oh my God, TikTok is going away. TikTok, I can't do without TikTok. It doesn't mean that it's going away immediately. Okay. Do you agree, Brandon?
Yeah, no, I mean it's not going to go away tomorrow. Like, as I just said, they got 9 months to figure it out for ByteDance to divest its share from the company itself, the part that is part of the CCP, right? That is over there, um, and figure it out. And what I don't like about it, this whole deal, is the far overreaching um, arm of the government when it comes to an app like this. We know the government is scared. There are bigger things in play that's way above either one of our pay grades when it comes to this
Right.
kind of stuff. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I
as
mean,
much as
there's positives and negatives to it. You could make an argument both ways. And if they're going to ban TikTok, then why not ban other social media platforms?
well, because
Um,
they apparently have more control over the platforms, and you got Zuckerberg, and you got um, controlling. I don't know of the major ones. You have Facebook and Instagram. He's controlling two of the four major ones that are out there, which would be between actually two of the five. So he has 40%
right,
control over
right,
two of the five major social media
right.
apps out there, right? And that
Mhm.
would be Facebook and Instagram, and then the other three would be YouTube, Snapchat, um,
Well, mhm, mhm. Well,
TikTok,
just
and Twitter.
yeah, well, regardless of, the path that has led up to this decision, the decision has been made at this time. Um, and now that, if we haven't prior to this point tried to, prevent this from happening, it's now going to become a reality. And this is something that can affect a lot of people out there. A lot of people out there you are using TikTok as their distribution channel, right?
Yeah, yep. A
You,
lot
a
of people
lot,
are making money with it. In fact, I was just scrolling a few minutes ago, and I found some very interesting channels. There's this one. It's called The Top Housewife, Auntie Jackie.
mhm.
Just watching her videos will give you a heart attack.
I- you know, it's in my opinion, in my opinion, social media gives the average person the ability to have their own distribution channel. It gives, before social media, in order to reach a larger audience, you had to pay a lot of money to do that. You had to pay television stations, you had to pay to get inside of a newspaper just to have your message or your content distributed over a larger area. So social media, it has its pluses and minuses. Okay, it gives the business owner the opportunity to distribute, but then there's no guardrails on it. There's no guardrails on the information that people are disseminating out there or producing. And some of it is good and some of it is downright crap. Downright crap. But still, these platforms are out there for us. But I don't think that these platforms are, these platforms have kind of become, uh I don't know, I wouldn't call it a necessity, but I think people feel there are a necessity and they feel that they should have have access to it when these aren't required. I think TikTok, Facebook, and these social media platforms, they're a business. I think they have the right to refuse service to anyone. Would you agree, or they don't have the right? Or do you think they should, or do you think they should not be able to control, what's on their own platform?
I mean, if they're privately held businesses, they should be able to do whatever they want to do with their app. Um, that's their whole shtick. Um, if they want to show everything based on whatever algorithm they put up there, then they'll show it. And there shouldn't be. I feel like there shouldn't be that much control over it, for what it is, because the whole point of social media is to be social. But I get that there has to be some type of guardrails up, or there will be mass, like, chaos. I don't know how many times I've opened up Twitter and the algorithm is showing me stuff that I have no care in the world to see. Um, and it kind of turns me off from that app a little bit. And I can tell you the first time that I got on a TikTok, it was showing me a lot of things that were okay for a dude. I could see why you're showing a dude these types of videos, but it was just so constant day in day out. It probably took me a good 2 months to clean up my feed and actually get the videos that I actually wanted to see. Right. Um, so I don't know. It's all coming down to the algorithm for what it is, and the government can't control TikTok's algorithm, and that's what they're scared about. They're pinning it on the. It's not the data, because if the government really cared about your data, they would have hammered AT&T a couple months ago, and AT&T slathered all through the news because of the 7 million plus people, and like current customers, and the, I don't know, 100 million past customers whose data has been breached and leaked to the dark web from social security numbers on, right? So it's not about the data; it's about the control over the message that easily be disseminated out.
Well, that's an opinion, but I think that with good comes bad, and it's a catch 22, because if you don't regulate it and watch it, then there's going to be people that complain that it needs to be regulated. If you do regulate it, there's going to be people that complaining saying it shouldn't be regulated. But yet and still, there is an element of social media that is influential, and very influential to those, I will say, people that may not know any better, or people that become entrenched in, we could say, for lack of a better word, a lot of propaganda, or when that algorithm is pushing out the same content to the person over and over again, it can put them inside what I think is a bubble where there's just a lot of false information that can be spread, and it's going to be there's good things and bad things. And I don't know if
Mhm.
social media is becoming like a second world, like a second world, in the same way that this world we live in, the physical world, there has to be some guardrails and there has to be some structure. It seems like that same concept is needing to be uh, translated into the online social media networks. Um, if you were to leave people to their own devices, you'll see things like graphic images, if we say nudity. I hope I don't get banned because of saying that word. But how would you like? And then it would require a lot more closer supervision for parents to allow their children to go on this. And if it was to be available, it just, there's good things in there and there's bad things. So we're not really here to debate that. We're just really here to talk about using TikTok as a distribution channel, and how this whole legislation is going to work, and what you can do as a how can you cope with this? How can you manage this in your business, right?
Well, I mean, the best way to manage it is to have an alternative distribution channel. I mean, the best channel is the one that you own, and we've preached it time and time again when it comes to this. Email is probably um, one of the best, if not the best, distribution channel that you can have. Pair that
Right.
with direct mail, with a letter in the post, as a solid number two, if not number one, because you can pretty much guarantee delivery with it if it's done right. Um, and then,
Right.
but even then, you don't really own it because you got to use third parties to get the word out, or you have to buy into a Google, and fight those algorithms, uh, and or use an autoresponder like we discussed a couple weeks ago with Sell Like Crazy. So really, if you really want to own and completely control your whole list, you got to put a server in your own house and set up your own email that way. Um,
Mhm. Right.
and that would be really the only way to do it. But
Absolutely. So,
not
uh,
many people do that.
so before we get into that, I just want to put a button on this right here, which is the details about what's going to happen. As you can see here, this is published a day ago from a publication, and it just breaks down how uh, a bill that has passed in the United States Senate and signed into law just today, actually. And it says that they are have national security concerns because of the owners of the TikTok, and the law would allow TikTok to continue to operate in the United States if the company is sold within 270 days or about 9 months. And this is a time frame that could be extended. Okay. They're saying that this measure is likely to face some legal challenges as well as resistance. And it could take months or even years to settle, during which it's likely that it would still continue to function. There's some opinions here, and then TikTok is pledging to fight this. And let's see here. There are other businesses that are on both sides of the argument. And the question is that the net worth, it says, is approximately 225 billion, and that steep price tag would limit the list of who could afford to actually purchase it. um so let me ask, what do you think? Do you think that someone will buy it uh before this deadline is up?
Absolutely. I think someone is going to buy it, or at least put an offer in to buy it. It's going to be one of those giant hedge funds, like probably a BlackRock or something like that. There's actually even been some politicians out west trying to drum up support and get a group together to pull their money in and buy it. So if that happens and you got politicians involved with the control of the deal, then we have a problem. Along with that, ByteDance may sell their stake in the deal, but they might not give up the algorithm, which is the most valuable part. So even if they do sell, TikTok isn't going to be the same. But again, I think that whole data deal is a bunch of BS and malarkey, because if it was about data, it should be about data for every company out there that does business and has people's data and is responsible for it. So yeah,
Could
it's not
be,
it's not about the data. It's not
could,
about the data.
could could be. A lot of the reasons aren't really known to us, but at this point, we are at this point where it is going to happen. So it's signed into law. So at this point, it is going to become a reality in a 9 month period, with a possible extension further if it is not sold. So in a year and 9 months from now, or if that extension is put forward and no other litigation has happened, we could be facing the possibility of a world without the TikTok app in the United States anymore, whether it's for data reasons, whether it's for political reasons, whether it's because of someone is mad with another person. It still could become a reality. And uh, if That does happen. Do you see it happening? Can you actually see that happening? I don't
Uh,
use I full disclosure, I do not have this app on my phone. I have probably watched a total combined less than 30 minutes of time on that app. Yeah, probably total combined. I had considered it at one time, but then I knew that this legislation was working its way through. So I thought, let me wait it out. And now the legislation has passed. I think it would be a good buy. What do you think? A good buy for Facebook? Meta?
no, Meta's not going to buy it. The Yeah, I think it's going to go. It's going to go the way of the Flappy Bird. If you guys remember that app from way back in the day, yeah, it'll end up getting banned and taken off. As much as they're going to fight it, depending on who gets elected this fall, yeah, it's probably sayonara. So anybody that is using TikTok as their main distribution channel, switch over to YouTube. Possibly Instagram Reels is probably your number two best bet. But I know it just won't have the same punch as a TikTok, but at least it's something you still have the short form there videos because those definitely aren't going away. It's just the that channel maybe, which is kind of sad.
Mhm. Well, I would say that, and I always hark back to, the number one book that talks to us the about traffic, and that is the book by Russell Brunson. It's called Traffic Secrets, and in that book, he, very first chapter, almost very first sentence, a storm is coming, and a storm is coming because the if there's one thing that will be constant about these social media platforms, and that is change. We're talking about TikTok now as if it is, but think about it. 3 years ago, TikTok wasn't even a thing. As a matter of fact, TikTok was not even mentioned in Traffic Secrets, which came out in 2020. And I and
Right.
I and I want to play a little game and say, but Russell Brunson wrote that book not about specific platforms. He even noted in the book that by the time you read this chapter, it's very likely that there'll be other platforms that have either come and gone. Look at what was it? Remember that audio platform? Uh, I don't even remember the name, but it was hot for like a
Oh,
minute.
Clubhouse.
A
Yeah,
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. So I had Clubhouse. I was one of the beta people. I probably was on it a month, maybe 2 months, and then thought it was absolutely dumb. Um, so I never listened to it. They've since changed it, um, where it's no longer rooms. Like it's no longer just open rooms. Like I haven't received a Clubhouse notification in uh, a year for the rooms and things like
Mhm.
that I had followed at the time. Like Grant Cardone's no longer on there. He's in Twitter Spaces now, and I think the I think Clubhouse is dead. Just
Yeah,
Google it.
yeah. And I think that the major point that Traffic Secrets was making is that you should not rely on one distribution channel. And you should not rely on that distribution channel being there for the long term, even though TikTok may be on top today, but there will be, I won't say there might be, there will be another platform or something that comes along to dethrone it, or some other platform that comes along to substitute it, or it may be better than it. So when you are thinking about getting your message out there and distribution, your concern should not be with the platform. It should be in your strategy. It should be in your strategy. And when you understand the platforms, you'll understand the life cycle of the platforms, right? The life cycle of the platforms. I don't even have the book Traffic Secrets with me right now, but I know, we went through it almost over a year ago, right here on Pitch Practice, the show. We went through
Mhm.
it chapter by chapter. And each chapter, he had a framework for the platform. Do you remember that framework, Brandon?
It's talking about the whole life cycle of it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's first understanding the platform, you know,
Yeah.
understanding the platform. And it was like the Traffic Secrets book took you through each of those platforms, took you
Right.
through Facebook, it took you to YouTube, it took you to Twitter, it took you to Instagram, and it talked about your strategy for posting on that platform. Although I think content on different platforms performs differently. So TikTok is really short form. I don't even know. Has TikTok increased the length of videos that are on there now?
Yeah, you can natively record up to 10 minutes, and I think you can upload even longer. Um, but I have never uploaded anything long. I usually just use CapCut or the app itself and record something and put it in there, which is nice. If you use CapCut, it has teleprompter in it, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Seems like what I mostly see on TikTok is dancing videos, and I'm just not ready to dance yet in front of camera.
Uh-huh.
That's what comes on that's what comes on my feed, and I feel like, you know, let me ask you, is Grant Cardone on TikTok?
I think he is, but he's not in my feed because I don't think I'm following him or anything like that.
You checking it out right now?
Nope. I'm putting my traffic secrets link up.
All right. I'm gonna. Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome. That's a bonus out there watching. If you've never read the book, and you don't have a copy, just check the comments. There'll be a link where you can go grab a free copy. And I've even got a special PDF that I put together with some of the best uh, videos. And some of these are hidden videos, behind the scene videos, downloads of the Traffic Seekers. Do you mind if I show it real quick, Brandon?
Go ahead, man.
This is my Traffic Secrets. Yeah, this is my Traffic Secrets audio downloads. This is a PDF. You'll find a link to it down in the comments. But this is your Traffic Secrets audio downloads, and it's traffic is the fuel for every successful business. And in this PDF, which you can download completely free by checking the link back there, it's got a couple of free uh, audio downloads where you can listen to chapter 1 and you can listen to chapter 10 absolutely free. There's some uh, extra bonuses with some PDFs available, and the Traffic Secrets audio download where you learn how to become obsessed with your dream customer. It talks about the core markets, understanding the history and the goal of the platforms, and then you want to find your dream 100 on that platform. Remember, and then there's some few extra bonus videos that you can grab along with a free copy of the book. Just checking the link, check the description, and you'll see the link for that down below. And again, Brandon, Dream 100 distribution channels.
Yeah, I mean, if the Dream 100 isn't new, it's kind of one of the storied frameworks on how to really kind of grow a business because if you can't create your own distribution network, you need to leverage the distribution network of other people. And I was actually in this month's Magnetic Marketing newsletter. Are you subscribed to the Magnetic Marketing newsletter?
I get the emails, but not the physical copy. Are you going to show us what you got, and are you going to show us that unboxing?
No, I'm not going to do the video. It's 7 minutes long, but I will show you what I got.
You don't have to show the entire video. Just just the beginning.
Nah, it's too long. All right, so if you missed my live video, well, I got to sneeze. It was last week.
Bless you. Bless you.
I'll give you the TLDR. So March Madness happened. I was in a contest. I thought I was going to lose, but it turned out the winners weren't really eligible to win the prize, and I was the first eligible person to win the prize. So part of the prize was a very costly book. You can go to my profile there, my main profile, and you can see the links for what it is. It is the Magnetic Story Selling book. Now,
whoa, how expensive is that book?
It's expensive, but the amount of information in here is probably worth every single penny of it. And I've just been lucky enough to win a copy of it. In fact, if you go to try to buy a copy outside of the funnel, like if you go to eBay, somebody is selling one for like $1,200. Yeah. So, I mean, people were putting a hefty price tag on the deal. And as you can see, I'm about halfway through for what it is right now.
Oh, you're halfway through it.
Yeah, I skipped Russell's part because I've already read Russell's part. So, yeah, I'm going straight into Dan's part because it's too long.
Really?
So, yeah. So yeah, this is the culmination of pretty much all of the works when it comes to telling a story to sell in here. And it's how to use personality plus stories to create customers for life. And in selling a story, you're using a parable to move people along the journey, get them in the same frame of mind as you are, to help them make the decision that whatever widget you are selling is the widget for them. What I will say, because I won the book and did not go through the funnel, I don't have access to all the videos, which I was a little disappointed of.
Oh, is that why the videos aren't working?
Yep. Because if you go through the funnel and you buy the product, the way ClickFunnels works is, they have the tags to release the courses associated with the product you buy. And because I didn't buy it, they didn't give me the courses. Which
okay. So the videos and the bonus material is inside of a membership group.
Yep, it's inside the Magnetic Marketing deal. So you got to buy the book.
Are you sure? Did you try to reach out to them?
I didn't reach out to them to grant me access to it. It's perfectly fine because it's just another way to consume the material, because it is the exact same stuff, just in video form. And there's a podcast to it as well. So it's kind of like what Hormozy did, so he did he recorded the videos, put it on his site. He has the audio versions you can listen to on podcast, and then you have the physical book to read. So I'll just read the book. It's cool. But so far so good. Some of the stuff in the initial part that I read on the Dan Ketty side, I've already been exposed to through the Magnetic Marketing deal, and then through Funnel Hacking Live, when he was there and telling pretty much the same stories that are in the book, and as part of the No BS series of books, which, by the way, there is a new one coming out in about a month. It's the new updated version of the No BS Guide to Direct Response Marketing for Non-Direct Response Marketing Businesses. So it's coming out on Amazon. You can pre-order it now. So definitely go check that out. And Mark, should you get the book? Yes, because you remember that video I tagged you in about spending the $20 to invest in yourself to buy a book and thinking that you're being good with your money.
Oh, that was your buddy Schmidt's book, wasn't it?
Schmidt, his video. I saw that. I just started cracking up laughing when he said it was a $20 bill.
And
Granted,
guess
this
what? And
is a
guess what?
little.
And guess what? I think I got a message from Schmidt about it too.
What do you say?
I didn't, you know what? I just tried to check my phone. I tried to check it and I couldn't see it. So I don't know. I have
Oh,
to go back and check it, but I know it was on that video. I got another alert on my phone about it, and I said, "Oh,
go buy the book. Okay. This is
I,
definitely an investment in yourself and your business, for what it is. It's not a cheap deal, but there is valuable information in here, and it's a full combination of the knowledge of Russell and Dan together to learn how to tell stories and sell at the same time. So to kind of sell without really selling, right? Because when you sell through stories, it definitely lowers the guard of the person you're speaking with, and it makes them feel like they're not being sold to, right? And isn't that the goal that we want to happen, right? We don't want
it's
to make people feel like they're being sold.
oh man, selling through stories is it's like poetry in motion. It's like poetry in motion. When you hear some of the stories that are told, and it's not, you know, you think it might just be random storytelling, but it has a structure to it, and it has a purpose, and that purpose is really putting the listener in the shoes of the character and walking through the story. Is that what it's saying? Is that what you're learning?
Pretty much. I mean, and think about it. Since we've been in the ClickFunnels world, right, and that this whole direct response marketing deal, how many times have we been told a story before we were presented with an offer, right? How many of Russell's stories could you probably say verbatim right off the cuff right now?
I know a lot of them, and
I,
it's like, yeah, I know a lot of them. I know a lot of them, and
I
that's
could
the
probably do
thing.
three.
Uh, and you know, Grant Cardone is a storyteller too.
Yep.
Sabri Subi is a storyteller. Alex Hormozy is a storyteller. I remember one of the first stories that he tells in that book, 100 Million Offers, about being broke and about having negative in his account. And he had
Yep.
to pay his salespeople, right?
Yep. You had to figure out how to pay salespeople. So, and it's those things, those struggles. It's usually starting off with a struggle, right? And that's what hooks you in, and that's what you remember because it's a negative experience, and we hold on to negativity more than we hold on to positivity. As crazy as that sounds, it's true. Like, um, we hold on to it. We hold on that pain because it's like, okay, because this person felt this and it was bad. We know it's bad, so we're going to remember it more because it's bad because we don't want to experience it. Does that make sense? A little
Yes,
bit,
yes.
right? But when it comes to Russell's stories, like you got the potato gun story, right? But he starts off, it was bad, I believe, because he was like, um, I forget where he was going because he had attributed to a negative outcome that happened with one of the Google slaps. That's why you
Well,
remember the potato story.
yeah, yeah, and the potato gun story came from him trying to get out of the situation that he was in, and he said that I guess he went inside the store. They started putting the guns together, and then he said, "Okay, here's one level," and that's how he started to learn how to use funnels. No,
Right.
I think the story. I think the story was, yep, the Google slap, and how could he continue to make money because he every time he would pay Google money he would make $20, but then when the prices went up he had a tough time making money, so then he decided to make it an upsell and not just sell the potato gun but sell it in a packs. And it's funny how he still has those DVDs today.
Hmm. And then his other one was another negative connotation of what happened to him when it came to his first email marketing campaign, to where he spammed everybody and almost got shut down from his internet company. Right? And it's just those little things like, oh crap, I don't want to do that. That's not the right thing to do. You remember it because it was bad and it can hurt you. So you do that. And then on the Dan Kennedy side, the one story that I can probably say and remember verbatim is the whole annoying pest thing. Annoying pest to welcome guest. Um,
Mm.
you remember that story from Fun Whacking Live?
No, remind me.
All right, so um, it wasn't told exactly how it was written in this book and then in the other um, no BS books, but basically, um, Dan Kennedy's yard was on fire. He was relaxing. Somebody came knocking on his door to disturb him. He didn't want to answer it, but until he was persistent and came with the right message, did Dan decide to get up and realize that his yard was on fire. Um, but what's funny in this book, he actually goes in deeper into that story and say um, how he's telling the story now isn't what really happened. He embellished it a little bit to make it a better story, because it was just a small little bushfire out front, and he told it in such a way it was like his whole yard was on fire, just to give it that extra pizzazz, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you can be a little embellished in your stories as long as you stick to the 90% truth, right? Just to make it interesting.
90% truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ingrained in our minds, storytelling from our youth. When we hear that phrase, once upon a time, it automatically kind of lowers our defenses and we perk up because it's naturally ingrained in us about stories. And that's what helps us to remember. We remember things a lot of times when they're told in stories. And that's a great way to sell. Freaking awesome way to sell.
Yeah.
Man, I can remember times when I don't know, just being right at the point where I'm listening to a customer, I'm listening to a potential lead on the line, and they tell me exactly what's holding them back, and then I will tell them a story about someone else who had the exact same doubt they had and how they overcame it by joining my program. And that's what stories did. And it really helps the other person to see that, hey, I'm having that same problem or that same obstacle that they did. And that's what the stories do. It helps your customer, your potential customer, to see themselves in the story. And the stories that you want to tell are stories of someone having the doubt, doing the thing, getting over it, and having success.
Mhm. Yeah,
Magnetic. Yeah,
you got to
I've
take them
seen
through
I've seen
that
that.
customer journey. You take them through the whole customer journey. The was it Heroes 2 journeys, um, to bring them to where you want to be. Take them to the top of the mountain. So that's all I got this week, man. Nothing else too exciting. I got a couple pitches out. We'll see if they land. And that's it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're about the end of this episode today. Um, Make sure to check the comments and check out the link to get your free copy of the New York Times best-selling book that is a classic, Traffic Secrets. And we'll see. My prediction. We'll come back and watch this video year and a half from now with my prediction. Okay, and you can give a prediction about TikTok too. I predict that some type of deal will be reached so that the TikTok platform can still be used in the United States. Um, I I would think that it may be bought out by a group of investors. I don't know, but okay, so eh, I think when there's been some big billionaire that bought a social media network recently. My opinion, it's gone downhill since that purchase. So
For Twitter, absolutely. Twitter's a shit show. 100%. Totally
it's
agree with you.
it's gone downhill. So billionaires buying up the social media network might not be a good idea if they want to see it go places. I don't know. I think Zuckerberg had a different, he wasn't a millionaire before Facebook. Facebook made him a billionaire. Um, uh, and then he bought out Instagram. But uh, Twitter was bought by a billionaire, and I think it's gone to crap. It's gone to crap.
Yeah, but
I,
there's still some value in there though, depending on how you have your feed set up and what you're actually following. Um,
yeah,
if
yeah.
you stay away from following Elon, and then you won't get the crap show. But it's all on who you follow, to what it's going to serve you up. The reach really isn't there, at least for me, for what I tweet out. I guess I'm not that interesting enough to follow just yet. But
And
it's all how you
have
use it.
you? And then there is an alternative to Twitter. Have you been on Threads?
Oh, Threads is hot garbage.
It just hasn't taken off. It hasn't taken off. It is similar to Twitter, but it just hasn't taken off. But there's I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what that next thing that will take off will be. And that's my prediction for the platform is that someone will take over it and it will still continue to exist as an application in the United States. And we can come back in a year or so, and it may not even be that long, and see if my prediction was right or not.
Maybe Apple will buy it. They're sitting on a couple $1 trillion there, so
Maybe
they got
maybe Google.
Google can't even get their own stuff working right. They're dropping applications or programs left and right. They need to keep the main thing, and trying to get this search and SEO thing right. Because I tell you, this latest slap that they just put down, it's crushed a lot of people, including myself and my clients. So I'm not very happy about it.
Learn the platform. All right, Brandon. That is it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again next week. Hasta mañana. Take care.
Later.